What happens when you take one of the best beginner RC trucks out there and throw in a brushless system? Well, today we're going to find out, because I've just finished doing the brushless conversion on this ARRMA Senton 4x2. Now there is a point to all of this, because I actually got this truck for my 4-year-old son. I presented it to him just before Christmas, and since then he's been practicing and he's been learning how to control the truck properly, and it's finally time to give the boy more power. More power. Now the ARRMA 4x2 range is an incredibly good way to get people into the hobby. You can pick these trucks up for about £170, which I believe is under $200, and it's actually cheaper than some of the other Chinese options out there. For example, the Rolalo AMX12 actually costs more than this truck, but this thing is an ARRMA. Now because this is an ARRMA, one of the biggest benefits is you're going to be able to get all the parts you need from your local hobby store or online, and you won't have to wait weeks for the parts to arrive. So parts availability is going to be so much better, which makes this thing ideal for a beginner. And it will break at some point, because every RC car breaks. There isn't an RC car out there that's indestructible. So that's enough talking then. You're here to see what I've done to this truck, so let's take a quick look. Now I didn't do a step-by-step conversion guide because it's easy enough, and not only that, those videos already exist, and I will drop some links in the description below. If you're looking to do this and you're a little bit unsure, it's an incredibly easy process, so check out those videos. So let's get that body shell off and let's take a closer look at what I've changed inside. So under the body I'm now running the Hobbywing Max 10 SCT. That is a 3200 kV motor and a 4S ready ESC. Now these aren't new components, I've actually taken these out of my ARRMA Granite, the first truck that I started the channel with. That thing's been sat for months now. It made no sense it just sitting there, which is why a lot of the parts have been donated from the Granite. And that does include the front diff and the front drive shafts. I'm also running the upgraded slipper clutch and the spur gear out of the 3S BLX. Now this was an upgrade I did back in 2020 on my ARRMA Granite, and again I've just transplanted everything over to the Senton. Now when it comes to my steering servo choice, it's a little bit overkill. I've gone for the KST 815 high voltage servo. This thing gives us 20 kilos of power, but only if you set your internal BEC voltage on your ESC up to 8.4 volts. I've left mine at 6 volts, but it's still going to be incredibly quick, and it's still going to give us a decent amount of power. Now I do have to stress, you really don't have to spend the same amount of money if you want to get a similar performance. You could throw in there a budget ESC and motor combo and a budget servo, and you'll probably get similar performance. Now, if you're not really into doing all of this, you can just buy the 3S BLX, the ready-to-run version. Another thing I've had to change on this is the transmitter and receiver. I'm now using the SLT3 out of the ARRMA Typhon. Now, you really don't have to use an ARRMA transmitter and receiver. You could quite easily use a Dumbo RCX4 and you'll also get more range. Now guys, I do apologise, there has been a lot of talking in this video. You're here to see it run, so let's do that now. Just take a look how fast that steering servo is. I'm really liking KST servos. So here we go then, first test on the new brushless power system. Well, already you can feel the power difference. That's quick, that's on 2S, we're currently running on 2S. That steering servo is so precise. Yes. Now this has made this little truck so much better. It handles better, there's so much more power now. But again, you know, you can't help but wonder, are you just better off buying the 3S BLX version as a ready to run to save all the hassle? Now I'm going to say no. I think this is a great way for a beginner to do it because it will help you to understand all the processes involved when it comes to upgrading, repairing, rebuilding. I think this is a great way to do it as a beginner and a great entry into the hobby. Was this actually a good idea, doing this brushless conversion for a 4-year-old? Well, yes, absolutely, because one of the good features on the Spectrum transmitters is you can adjust your throttle dual rate. You can set this thing from 50% to 75%, all the way up to 100%. Now, you can do this on a lot of aftermarket transmitters as well. It doesn't have to be an ARRMA. And if we set this to 50, that doesn't feel any quicker than the top speed of the brushed electronics, and he handled that absolutely fine. Yes guys, this thing is insane and it's handling so much better now. I like this a lot. And considering it's on the same platform as the Vortex and the Granite, it just handles so much better because of the longer wheelbase. Please consider one of these over a WL Toys or a Lalo, because I think, you know, if you're willing to throw some extra cash at it, you're going to get a much better truck in the long run. I like this thing a lot. Another reason I love the Senton so much over the Granite and the Vortex, the Senton just doesn't seem to topple as easy as the others. It just feels more planted. And if I had to pick now, I think I would actually pick this over the Granite. Durability wise, they're all going to be the same. It's all the same platform. I just like the way this thing is so planted. Excellent little truck. And if this isn't one of the best 1/10 scale options out there, well then I don't know what is. Okay, maybe the 2-wheel drive Slash, but this thing is still really good. I think it's time we take things up a notch. Let's stick a 3S pack in it. Oh, look at all this mud. Oh. Whoa. Whoa, that is quick. That is insanely quick. Whoa. Whoa! On 3S, it's just insane. If anything, 2S is the sweet spot in my opinion. That thing is quick. And there's no beginner out there that is going to need a truck any faster than that. So there we go then guys, we've turned one of the best cheap beginner trucks into an absolute beast. So is this worth doing then? Well yes, absolutely, especially if you enjoy tinkering. If you're more into the ready to run stuff, then get the 3S BLX from the start. Now apart from tinkering, the other good thing about doing it this way is you get a choice about which electronics you're putting into your truck. And again, like I said, you really don't have to spend the same amount of money to get similar performance. Now the ESC and motor is made for an application like this, but the steering servo is a little bit overkill. Now the difference was noticeable when it comes to handling. It handles like an absolute dream now. Any little movement I make on that steering wheel goes directly to the truck. Now I think the real test is going to be when I hand this over to the main man himself. We will see what Sam makes of his new brushless converted ARRMA Senton 4x2. That is if I give it back to Sam, because today I've enjoyed it so much I kind of want it myself. Of course I'm going to give it back to Sam. I got this for him and I think he's really going to enjoy it. Cheers for watching guys, I've got some battery left so I'm going to enjoy this truck for a bit longer.